I was saying, rest in peace to George Floyd. One of the more difficult things, again, I've been saying this a lot as of late because the year has been rather turbulent. But one of the more difficult things about recording a podcast is that you have to record a podcast, which becomes even more difficult when you have to do it twice a week. You don't get to skip a beat.
Yeah.
You don't get to really skip things. And sometimes...
Or process them to some degree.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually where I'm headed. Process them, and sometimes... And this is, to me, is one of the beauties of podcasting. You can hear a topic weigh on someone. Like you can hear it age almost with the podcaster sometimes.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, that's what happened with George Floyd. Last podcast, we came in here, and because we were all so heavy, we tried to keep it light.
Yeah.
Which is in the line of duty. Comes with the territory, comes with the job.
I think it's a responsibility to some degree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Podcasting can be an escape for some. Well, anything can be an escape for some.
Yeah.
But that's what happened last week. Last week, I also said I did not watch the video, that graphic video. I'm a firm believer in having to filter some of the things you see online, especially things that are traumatic. So I don't even watch. I try my best not to watch things that are going to make my stomach turn and just weigh heavy on my heart. So I didn't watch it when we recorded the last podcast. And then the week continued, and I heard it. I didn't see it, but I was around someone, and I heard it. And boy, was it disturbing. No, I'm not desensitized to it. You know, that's one of the things that gets thrown around. Oh my God, we're becoming numb. I'm not numb yet. Like, I still feel it every time it's recorded, every time you hear someone say they can't breathe, every time it's nauseating. And then it's just been a heavy week from there. And as it continued, I noticed it wasn't just me. It was a lot of other people. You know, the phone calls I was receiving, the people that were coming to visit, people have been down. You know that heavy feeling that came over us when Nipsey passed? That just heaviness?
Yeah.
As the week went on, it got heavier. And then I find myself trapped in the house having to do things to combat that heaviness. So for me, I've tried to stay off the internet really completely this week.
Yeah.
Because it's all horror.
Yeah.
There's nothing, there's not a picker-upper out there right now. So George Floyd goes to the store, and they call the cops because they think that the $10 bill is counterfeit.
Yeah, I heard two stories: a forged check, and then I heard a fake $20 bill. Were the two stories I heard.
I heard the check one. I'm not inclined to believe it because nothing about George Floyd sounds dumb. I don't think he was bringing a check to the local store.
Yeah.
I don't believe he was trying to pay with a personal check. Now, that's not confirmed. I didn't fact check that. Don't run with me like I'm fucking Van Jones. I am not. But yeah, either way, bad check, $10 bill, fucking call it what you want. Bad money order, I don't care what it was. But the police were called because they thought there was forgery involved. And then there was a clip released of him being handcuffed and escorted wherever they were trying to escort him. And then it was, okay, we're using excessive force without even inquiring about the situation, without doing your due diligence. You're not calling for a medical response. You're not calling for first aid. All of this shit made me go back and do research on the origin of police.
Right.
And that wasn't pretty.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that police was such a recent thing. Like the last 100 years.
Yeah, no, in the scope of things, it's a very new system.
System, that word. System. All in the system. A lot of things wrong with the system. A lot to unpack. A lot of facts came out. A lot of information was released. Where would you gentlemen like to begin? We have the Trump quote, which is nuts. We have the arrest of, what is this gentleman's name, this murderer's name, this fucking thug?
Derek Chauvin, right? Chauvin?
Derek
Okay.
Chauvin.
I mean, who really?
Let's start
Fuck-
there.
fuck how you
Let's
pronounce
start there. Let's start with Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin, first of all, there's shit floating around the internet that's questioning whether dude is even a cop.
What was the backstory on that?
You know the internet will find. They got alleged pictures of dude at the Boston bombing, at Sandy Hook. They,
Okay.
They have
Yeah. One of
pictures
those.
of him allegedly in a lot of places.
Interesting.
Now, I don't have facial match recognition. I don't have the CSI logistics team in my phone to see if that's accurate. But that's floating around and saying he might be a CIA agent. Cool, but let's not even get into that. Cop. Let's pretend he's a cop.
Okay.
He's not a cop. He's something else in a cop uniform. But Derek Chauvin. This says Minneapolis police officer who murdered George Floyd on May 25th, 2020. The restraint, and mind you, I saw a family member tweeting earlier this week about her son that this same officer murdered.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The restraint technique used by Chauvin to murder Floyd was not part of the department's training. This sounds familiar too. That was said in Eric Gardner shit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there was nothing. No, the chokehold was illegal amongst
I think
police
it's like
officers.
a Geneva Convention.
Like
illegal.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's rap sheet is long.
Yeah.
Being represented by Tom Kelly, the same attorney who got Officer Geronimo Yanez, who murdered Philando Castile, acquitted.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Chauvin was put on leave in 2011 for an inappropriate police shooting of Alaskan Native American Leroy Martinez. Put on leave.
Which is the police department's way of saying, we're still going to pay you. Let's let this shit blow over.
Right.
That's all a leave is.
Chauvin shot Ira Latrell Tolles, pardon me if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, or this name incorrectly, an unarmed black 21-year-old man in 2008. Chauvin was one of the officers who murdered Wayne Reyes, a Latino man with 16 bullets forced into him. A total of 42 rounds were shot off.
Jesus.
Chauvin and another officer were chasing a car in 2005, causing the death of 3 people, according to Communities United Against Police Brutality. There are 12 police brutality complaints against Chauvin in the Minneapolis Office of Police Conduct Complaint Database. They are all listed as closed, non-public, and no discipline. All right, so this guy's a paid assassin.
Right.
Seems that way.
Yeah. And just everything else coming out. with
Allowed
this on the
to operate.
Minneapolis Police Department in general. Like, we found out so much about the Ferguson Police Department when Michael Brown happened. The more outside of just him and what that police force represents is insane. Like, it's not just him. This has been a whole conglomerate of bullshit for years with that police department.
And many police departments.
For sure. It's just, it gets highlighted when these types of things happen.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that people tend to forget is that police officers are citizens that just put on a uniform and report to a building. So if this guy is some lunatic that just happened to get a job and wants to put on a uniform and now he wants to harass people, he's protected. He's protected by the shield. He's protected by the uniform. He's protected by the system. And I don't think that they do a great job at really screening these people. Some of these dudes have like real issues, social issues, mental issues, and
I
they're
think
given a gun and a badge and
Specific.
protected.
No.
Specific to Tamir Rice's case.
I'm not going to let you
Right.
say that.
What you mean?
I'm not going to let you say that. These people have great screening. They have great screening. They are hiring exactly the people that they are looking to hire.
Okay, I'll go with
Because
that.
I want to understand.
I'll go with that.
Cops have zero authority. They get to arrest you and put you somewhere.
Right,
They have no power.
right,
They have no control. It's none of that.
Right.
They're ground level workers. I won't dare say trusted servants of the people right
Let's
now.
not totally say that, because they do have the power of the benefit of doubt, no matter what.
yeah,
That's a very strong power that a citizen, especially a black citizen, does not have.
Okay. I'm with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do they
power
make
and
decision?
yes,
But
that's where I'm at.
also,
with it.
their decisions.
Yes, a lot
kill
comes
people.
along with that badge and that blue suit and the people that they are protected by, which is the government. This is a whole chain of command that goes. It's a whole ladder that we go up. So
Yeah.
I only wanted to stop you there. I think they are screening, and I think they are hiring exactly who
It's
they want to
definitely-
hire, which
yeah.
is why, hate to be that guy, local elections are important.
The most.
And I know
important.
that's a really boring talk right now, but it's important. The census is important. These type of things are important when they come up to avoid this. That I've thought back to so many different times. We're using Edgewater. We're using Edgewater. How many times did they call the cops on me?
Every time I was there.
I still have a warrant for a noise
we
complaint.
knew them. We knew
You
them on a
have
first
not
name
taken
basis.
care of that, Rory.
No, I haven't.
Yo, people do not take care of their warrants in their
God,
20s.
no.
Yeah, no,
No.
fuck them warrants.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Catch when you can.
Yeah,
Nigga, Tom
fuck
Hanks.
about that noise warrant. You have a warrant for being loud. Fuck you.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I thought back to all of those times, and I want to shout out to those Edgewater cops that was cool, and I want to unshout out. We need to unshout out like we need a dislike button on Instagram. I want to unshout out some of those cops that came to the door a little aggressive, and I'm black,
Yeah.
so I come up with a problem with authoritative figures anyway. So I'm rebellious and I'm aggressive back, and that could escalate somewhere. We briefly spoke about Karen and the dog last week, but she was calling an assassin
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
potentially.
Right.
It's a luxury that black people don't have to weaponize the system, to weaponize your past, to weaponize the law and hired servants.
Well, that's
to-
because it wasn't designed for us.
well, nothing here was designed for
Correct.
us. Why the fuck are we here? When I'm alone in my room, I ask myself these things.
Correct. I do too.
I don't bring them up.
No,
But I
think
do.
about it a lot.
You're weaponizing perception too, like just what a lot of people in the white community are taught, that black is dangerous. You're weaponizing a perception that is not true. So when you call the cops and they're raised with this mentality and this perception, because let's be real, most cops are not from the communities that they police.
Right.
Which is a big problem.
It's one of the bigger issues if
Yeah.
you really get down to how communities are brought together. So you grow up in an all-white community and you're taught every day that black is dangerous, and now you're policing a black community. You're
Right.
weaponizing the perception that you were taught your entire life.
But that's not a thing that's done by mistake, though.
Of course not.
And that's the big.
No, that's the
issue.
plan.
Right. It's all a systematic plan, and I think that's the problem that people are now realizing. And that's one of the great things about social media is that so many people are connected, and none of this is new. You know what I mean? This is shit that we've lived through. Our parents have lived through. It's the system. That's what it says. If this isn't new and this is something that keeps happening, you have to start looking at the system that is designed.
Everything you saying is right. It was a new thought. It was a new thought for me this week that, oh shit, I won't be here for this to get fixed.
Oh no,
Like, our parents and our
Right.
grandparents,
they tried.
like they did that shit.
Right.
Like our ancestors did that shit
Right.
for a better day for us.
Right.
And yeah, it just hit me this week.
Yeah. No.
Yes, nothing has changed. Yes, we've seen this shit a million times. Like Cuomo said, change a few facts, the faces, but same shit. But that was disappointing. That was disappointing for me. Like my kid's been at my house all week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all week, we have been having conversations. Totally aside from his CIT pass. Rest in peace to Mr. Brown. That really weighed heavy on him. But aside from that, like people are passing from COVID, and we're getting killed by
Right.
police.
Right.
And I have children that I have to explain some of this to.
Right.
Like the
And-
gravity of some of this.
And prepare them.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sorry, Maul. Not it's a new thought for me that this won't be fixed in my lifetime. That's not true. It was a new thought for me that this won't be fixed in my kid's lifetime. That was the new thought. Like a little bit of the hope was snatched from me. But where were we?
Well, I mean, that's the disappointing,
wait,
that's
the-
the disappointing part with the hope, because how much more evidence do you need? It's been on camera for years.
not about
How much
evidence.
more evidence do you need for things to
I
change?
don't know why we ever talk about it. It's never about evidence. Like the facts
Oh,
are facts. We know what time it is.
Right.
Like,
Well, no,
don't
that's
fool
what I'm
me
saying.
with the
is so,
smoke and mirrors.
That's what's so disappointing because it's right in front of your face and it's clear as fucking day,
But
and
that-
you're still doing the semantics and dancing around saying, "Nah, it's this, it's that." Like,
Well, that's how
what's
I
so
get-
heartbreaking about it.
That's how I get to why are we here. Everything you saying is how I get to why are we here. And my very next thought after that, I cannot say because while I have creative control over this podcast, there's a thing called hate speech. And somehow your response to being killed is hate speech.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Right.
Somehow, even in that, listen, I've been down such a rabbit hole. Listen, one of them YouTube docs said that all words have meaning. That's why it's called spell and spelling. And I'm home saying, yo, I've been in a daze all week. Maybe that's why fucking it's days. Maybe these days even constructed to just have us all fucked up. Like, my mind has been warped from all of the shit that's just been coming out this week. Bombshell, they work together.
That was crazy.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. For
For
years.
a long time,
For like
17 years or something.
Fam, you know me.
Right.
You know me when you see me.
Yeah.
Third degree murder. I had to look it up. Pull it up, scream in, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. Let's explain the differences here. What's this? What's this? This third degree?
It's third degree.
Third degree. Whoever, without intent to affect the death of any person, I already have a problem with this, but I'll continue. Causes the death of another by perpetrating an act eminently dangerous to others and evincing a depraved mind without regard for human life, is guilty of murder in the third degree and may be sentenced to imprisonment for not more than 25 years. What's this? Second degree? Second degree murder. Minnesota law prohibits intentional and unintentional killings under most circumstances. Those killings prohibited as second degree murder include killing a human intentionally, but without premeditation. That's first degree, right? With premeditation
you
is
plan
first
on
degree
killing-
murder.
You plan on killing this person.
And manslaughter is what? My bad.
accidentally-
Somebody died.
Yeah.
Just,
Accidentally,
somebody
yeah.
just died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hitting
Yeah.
someone with a car or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Or to some degree self-defense in certain cases. Something where you didn't mean
Hey,
to kill
pull
somebody.
third degree back up, please. Third degree murder. Whoever. No, you. We see you. Without intent. No, stop. That's intent.
That was
Yeah.
intentional.
That's intentional.
Putting your knee on
Fam,
someone's
he
neck
said-
so they can't breathe is
Yo,
an intent.
every time every time this happens and somebody dies, and in my stupid head I get the thought of, well, what if such and such? What if he said something different? Then we get it. We get somebody to say more than I can't breathe. Yo, if you just let me up for a minute.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're on my. I can't. What are you doing? I'm dying. I am about to die. This nigga said a whole paragraph.
Right.
You know the part I don't understand, Joe, is that it's as simple as he was already handcuffed.
Right.
Like how much of a threat is somebody that's handcuffed?
You got
There's video-
three officers
there-
with weapons.
I just don't
And
understand.
There are angles that we're not seeing. And I call for the arrest of the other three thugs.
Absolutely.
Thugs and goons that were accessories to murder.
That's an accessory to
Absolutely.
murder.
I
for
do
sure.
not know their names. For now, refer to them as dukes. Huh? Of course they're not saying. Because they're fucking protecting the cops.
And on top of that, all the people around there telling the officer, yo, he cannot breathe. Hey, I forgot the young lady's name, but it came out. She works in health. I don't know if she was directly a doctor or a paramedic or anything. She was saying, he can't breathe. Stop that right now. That is intent.
Yeah.
I'm holding my knee here, listening to everyone yell at me, and the person who can't breathe yelling.
Right.
That's an intent. How is that not an intent?
The police are supposed to render first aid.
They're
that-
first responders.
They are first responders. And trained to do so.
Yeah, but they're not trained for first aid. So they are supposed to immediately render first aid if you're in need.
Right.
Even when you commit a crime, when you get shot and run to the hospital, you might try not to run to the hospital, but if you go, you might try checking under a different name. But if they'll run there and they'll wait for you to get stitched up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they'll handcuff you to the bed.
But you
What
coming
are you talking
with
about?
with me, buddy.
Yeah.
When this
Sure.
one is over.
No, when you're shot bleeding, they'll handcuff you to the bed.
This is intent. You've worked with this man. You know this man. You've seen this man. And this was a non-violent offense that you don't even know was an offense.
Right.
All we ever gonna do is put the $10 bill up to a light, all us, And
we've all had counterfeit money at some point. You know, you go to the bodega,
That
they
is
give
true.
you back a
That is true.
counterfeit, and you
And
go
you don't
spend it
know.
at the grocery store, and you're like, damn, my bad,
I won't
had
say
no
we
idea.
all, but a lot of us.
Yeah, it's pretty common, especially in bigger cities. Like,
Right.
they
Yeah.
get passed around. It happens.
And you put it back in your wallet or your pocket. You're not sitting there just staring at your money to make sure it's real.
Sometimes some shits look
They
hella
look
real.
great.
We don't have a clip from anywhere of George Floyd being a threat.
At all.
Like, and I'm sure more footage will be released, but I don't think we'll see anything that just has him well. And again, we've already watched him be escorted away in handcuffs. I'd love to know how he ended up on the ground with a knee in his neck. But I'd love to know how Jeffrey Epstein hung himself on a bunk bed in a jail with 2 officers asleep and the cameras
All right,
broken.
let's-
I'd love to know. There's a long list of things I would love to know.
Cool. Let's say he was resisting. Let's say he was. We have watched white people go fucking nuts with guns and knives at cops and been just fine afterwards.
Yep.
Just fine. So don't give me, he was resisting. That's what happens when you resist. No, the fuck it's not.
No, you putting the Klan members. The Klan members are wearing cop uniforms.
Absolutely.
The
Oh,
end.
for sure.
The end.
1000%.
Klan members, and some of these places. Listen, they had the mayor of not mayor of Rory taught me.
He's a mayor in Mississippi.
Come on, Jersey niggas run you niggas, man. Come on, man. How many times?
Joe Budden.
How many times we gotta tell him? That's Fetty Wap.
I mean, you could ask that.
There you
Hold
go.
on, stop sleeping on Jersey, man. All right. A mayor in Mississippi. Dude that said,
He said,
yeah.
if you say you can't breathe, you're breathing. Most likely that man died of an overdose or a heart attack.
Oh, come on.
That's a public official that is saying that. You know how insane that sounds?
That's a Klan member.
That's Mississippi. Or at least that's how I've been brought up. That's Mississippi.
That's insane.
No, that's America now. That's America. It's
Exactly.
always been. Not
America,
now.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
It's always been. That
Exactly.
that is America. So that's how you get to. Oh yeah, and I have to say that dude's knee was on George's neck for 8.5 minutes, and 2.5 of those minutes he was unconscious. 2.5 of those minutes he was unconscious.
I saw UFC fighters and other people in martial arts saying that's literal torture.
I'm sure.
Literal torture to have someone's knee on your neck for that long.
It's torture probably for 4 seconds of someone's knee on your neck.
Yeah, I don't want anyone's knee on my neck. Period.
Ever.
Yeah.
For a second.
Ever.
Let alone when you're helpless handcuffed.
Right.
He's handcuffed. Like, that's what I can't get past. Like,
Yeah.
what are you? How much of a threat is somebody that's already handcuffed?
And you have other officers with you.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Man.
Mad officers.
That's clear murder.
That's murder.
There's no 30. That was murder.
But
What?
I thought Eric Gardner was straight up murder. But
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
It's all murder. So this is murder. We seen it. We watched it. It's been filmed. It's been murder. No arrests made. No arrests made. Oh, not only were no arrests made, all the cops went to Duke's house to protect him. Where's the shit at? Here it is.
Look how many fucking people are defending this killer's house.
1, 2, 3,
Look
hundreds
how
cops,
fucking
hundreds
many
cops.
are defending this killer's house.
Hundreds of cops in
Look
front of
how
this guy's
fucking
house.
Many are defending this
So many
killer's
cops in
house.
front of his house that y'all couldn't have been man in the streets. Of course we able to riot.
Right.
There's hundreds of cops in front of his house.
Look how fucking many. Look how fucking many.
Thank you.
You know where he would have been safe? Jail.
Right.
Well, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't safe in jail. No, they control the jails.
True. I just mean to say that he should have been arrested.
Well, listen, this is how I interpret this. And I'm no one.
don't say that, man.
Thanks, Rory, man. Well, give me a pound. Nothing is ever fixed until you fuck the money up.
Yeah.
I believe it.
That's a
Yeah.
really good point.
I believe it.
And even in that, it's a problem though for me. Like, because y'all not doing it because y'all feel like something wrong happened to this man. Y'all doing it because y'all don't want things to get to a point where, like you said, y'all start losing money. Mm-hmm. It's not about what y'all the act. Like you see something that was wrong. This officer killed somebody
On camera.
on camera. It's not, y'all don't want to arrest the man because of that. They want to arrest the man to calm everyone down and stop people from tearing up the community.
Well, Maul, that's why what I'm saying here is, listen, my last few years have taught me that, yes, racism is present, present as it's ever been.
Absolutely.
Right? But there are plenty of racists who just play both sides because of the money.
No, racism itself
I
is
just
big
learned
business.
that.
Racism is big business. Without question, on both sides.
Yeah. I mean, however you want to slice it. Racism is big business. Black is big business. There are plenty of people that, in the name of business, are fucking with people that they may feel differently about privately. Shit, Donald Sterling, that happened.
Yeah.
Like we know that this exists. Damn, what the fuck was the point I was making? What was you just talking about?
Until the money gets fucked up.
Oh, so the money gets fucked up. That's my response. So people say, oh my God, looting is doing what? So listen. So dude kills George. No arrest made. Minneapolis. Already think whatever you think about the police there, right? Days go by. Still nothing happens. Public is outraged. Government don't really care that the public is outraged. They never care that y'all are mad about something. Okay, protest, cool. Wave your signs, cool.
No, they went in there with tear gas for the protesters.
Well, that's. Oh,
Before the riots, they were tear gassing protesters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so they didn't want them to protest, huh?
Nope.
Then they ain't even want them to protest.
No.
But we just
Come on.
seen protesting from, people that were upset about
Masks.
things
wearing
being
masks.
locked down and wearing masks, and they were armed. And it was like,
And according to our president, they were good people.
right.
Right.
And so it's like it's just clear, man. Like, how much more do we need to see and endure to just understand what it is? Like, this is what it is. So now I'm at a space where it's like, okay, my ancestors and my relatives, they all tried another way. They tried to be peaceful. They tried to march. They tried to do things. They tried to love. They tried to all of these other things. So now what are we supposed to do? Like, what are we supposed to do now? Like, where are we at now where it's like you see what it is? It's clear as day.
And we are to impose our will where we are able to, and unfortunately, because of the systems that have been placed in this country, that's on the ground level. Because historically, we lack power to affect elections. We lack capital. Like, we lack a lot. So
Plus, every time-
that's why we're mishandled. That's why we're just discarded and just.
But I don't believe that, Joe. I don't believe we lack capital. I don't believe we lack power. Because we are the most, we spend the most in this country. We spend the most money. We are the biggest consumers in this country. So therefore we have money. We lack coming together. We lack all being on one page and having one goal. And I think that's the problem. Like, we don't lack power. We have power. We have people that have power. We have people that have money. So it's like there's something else that we're not doing. And I think that all of us, I think every black, brown, I think all of us need to come together and say, all right, this changes today or else. That's the bottom line. I'm done marching and like all praying and being peaceful. Like, that shit is doing nothing. Like, we've tried that for 60, 70, however many years. We did that. So now it's like, what are we supposed to do now?
You saw it.
Like, what are we supposed to do now? And it's a dangerous space to be in, because you have so many young kids and young people now that are fed up, as well as older people that have lived through things and seen things. They're fed up. So you got to start asking yourself, is this, like, what are they asking for? Are they asking for a civil war? Do they want that?
It would appear that way to me.
Because there's no, like, all the talking is over with. Like, you can't, like you said, your sons are going to have to grow up and they're going to have to protest and do all this. But it's like, for what?
Well, I just disagree with you. I still think we lack certain power and capital historically. But they
gerrymander the vote anytime that there is power within the black vote. They
Absolutely.
They redistrict and
Absolutely.
move things around.
Absolutely.
But your next point was my next point. The point that you made was my next point. We don't have we don't have a town hall. We're not having a private meeting somewhere with all of our most powerful blacks and trying to come up with an idea or just talking about some shit that maybe can't be spoken about publicly. Like it's all these content pieces going around. Puff did some shit and I turned it on and Amy Schumer was on. Fam, I don't want to hear Amy Schumer right now. Sorry. Sean King was on there. Fam, a lot of accusations against him. Not trying to hear him right now while my heart is heavy. Sorry. I don't want to hear none of you niggas, to be honest. It needs to be a private something somewhere. Like I seen in all the docs we did historically. All the blacks come together and talk about some shit. And maybe we'll come to something then. But I'm with you. Something needs to happen soon. We are at war, and war is coming. Like, that's where I stand on this. Okay, so, but back to what I'm saying. They make no arrest. Public is outraged. Fucking, okay, they come in with tear gas. Hey, no protesting because the laws are set up to where we can block anything you try to do. Right. If you try to protest, if you say something hateful, anything that you respond to this, we're stopping that. Oh, yeah? It's more of us than there are of you. See, that's the other thing that I don't think we really talk about a lot. Like, it's way more us than the cops.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even have the money to properly man some of these places with police if we really talking about a revolt.
Right.
But anyway, so yeah, so then now it's a battle on the ground level between ground level people. Fucking and now we start looting. We're gonna burn shit down. We're gonna burn all this shit down.
Back to your point.
No, we're not gonna ruin our community. We're not gonna ruin our shit that we own. But if this is some shit where it's all of y'all owning this shit, man, fuck this Target. Burn this whole Target down. This Target is heavily influenced and fucks with the Minneapolis PD out there. Guess what? Sorry, no more milk from Target. Gotta go. Burn it down. That's how they felt.
Yeah.
That's not me. Don't try to get me for hate speech. That's what happened out there.
Because that's exactly to what you're saying. Shit don't change until the money get fucked up.
Yeah.
So let's burn fucking Target down.
Yeah,
Because the peaceful shit's not working.
Yeah, we seen Colin Kaepernick kneel. It did nothing. They burning shit down. They acting a fool out there. And then we get to Trump.
Let's not say it did nothing. I think that's the wrong words, but I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah, no, I don't mean did nothing.
I know you didn't
That's
mean
not
that.
what
That's
I mean.
why I want to.
I'm saying it like
like
black guys say it just casually, like like whatever.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that was clear because they get misquoted
Thank you,
and all
Rory.
that shit.
Thank you, Rory. Fucking and then I guess that leads us to the president with his.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw the reports of the cop Jacob Peterson.
I did.
I did.
They caught on camera with a hammer knocking out all the AutoZone.
Fucking up AutoZone.
Yeah. Which we've all kind of had that. We've suspected that that's happened in the past a lot.
It's
where a
definitely
lot of these riots and the things that they condemn people for in rioting start from the other side.
Yeah.
They don't start from the people that are really revolting.
Yeah. Well, they do it to pin it on on whoever the protesters.
So now we have a talking point that we can ignore the bullshit we're doing and focus on this stuff.
Right.
So then Trump comes, says, "Hey, if y'all keep looting, I'm gonna start shooting." That's the president
of the United States said that.
using
Jesus
Twitter
Christ.
that he's fighting with because they're fact checking him.
Right.
he's using the site that he's trying to ban all freedom of speech on the internet.
Right.
But he's using it to threaten civilians over burning Target
With military force.
Yeah, that's what he's using our military
He's
for.
threatening to shoot civilians of America for protesting.
The thugs that were doing the same thing that the good people were doing a few months ago.
Right.
Or in Charlottesville when there's good people on both sides.
Right.
Oh no, these people are angry, but they're good people.
Well, and that's white power.
Now they're thugs.
Well, that's white power.
Right.
When you take away someone's ability to be angry at something, like
Right.
Well, that's the insane thing. Like outside of the obvious of him saying that, he said these are good people. They're angry to people upset about wearing masks.
And to a guy that ran over someone with a car at a Nazi rally a couple years back.
And then turns around and says they're thugs. You don't think people are angry about watching one of their own people get murdered on camera?
Listen, Trump has done a great job of painting America. For me, there are no blurred lines here. Like, the cops were, they didn't arrest him, just like they never arrest anybody. They paid and sent the cops over to dude's house to protect him. We start burning shit down. Y'all arrest one of them for third-degree murder. And then you have all these people saying we don't have all the evidence. Got it, buddy. You think I feel strongly about a conviction here? I do not.
Me either.
I don't. And then it gets to, okay, what do we do when this happens again?
See, the problem with the president is he said these thugs are dishonoring the memory. The problem is we shouldn't have to honor the memory of George Floyd.
Correct.
Like that's the problem.
That's the whole point.
Like you know what I mean? It's like you missing what people are upset about. You saying they're dishonoring the memory. No, they're upset because we have to honor the memory. George Floyd didn't die as an old man in his home, and now people are outside upset about that.
Right.
How come when we do it, it's called looting, and when they do it, it's called colonizing?
White, you just said it. White power. You just said it.
Like I'm growing more weary of just words and what they mean, and just properly addressing things the way they should be addressed.
I mean, but the fun, that happens not only with this stuff. It happens in natural disasters. With Katrina, it was black people are looting. How could you loot something that's flooded, first of all? And then when the white people were doing it, they were searching for supplies. Like we don't just see it in here. We see it with natural disasters in the country.
It's true.
Like
it's true. Whenever you're looting and what to do, cops vandalizing first, Trump response. Listen, I won't even get into this TikTok blocking hashtags thing because it's how I've always felt about TikTok and you niggas with your stupid fucking dances that's just now vulnerable to everything.
Well, give us some backstory.
Yeah,
they are saying that the hashtags Black Lives Matter,
okay,
rest in peace George Floyd, and anything related to the matter were blocked.
Oh my God.
Wow.
On TikTok.
Wow.
I don't have TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok. I hate TikTok. I know that. Listen, while we on it, there's a few other accusations about TikTok and their discrimination and the picture that they want to paint as far as colorization. And I have noticed that very same thing with Instagram, like on the Explore page. I like a few weeks ago. Sometimes I just be in the house and test myself. I'm like, the algorithm's okay. You gotta. So I just follow mad dark skin chicks. I never see a dark skin person on my Explore ever, ever, unless it's like a spam page.
Wow.
So I went on a following spree. Guess what? Still nothing. Like I agree with this whole TikTok bullshit. But I won't get into TikTok because I hate TikTok. And if you have TikTok, you're dancing and being vulnerable to China fucking stealing everything in your phone and using it against you later. What else was important here? Oh, I heard just that. Just the term hate speech. Just the term hate speech. Oh, I can't get into it because of hate speech.
What you mean?
Hate speech. Like, just we can't respond.
No, we can't.
There's nothing to. I can't say like as a black man, as a black youth, I had to learn what terroristic threat was. You had to see my face the first time I got arrested for a terroristic threat. Don't that sound real bad?
Yeah.
By verbiage,
Yo,
yes.
Boy, was I confused. Wait a second.
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna fuck him up. How am I? They got all
threat. Yeah.
from Joe.
Yeah.
Joe is a terrorist. Hell, shut the fuck up.